I'm going to share some basic principles in government. Here's one. You should not be able to profit more than your salary. You should not be able to profit as a public servant. Part of public service is that it is service. If you think the incentives for public service are too poor, there's a reasonable debate to be had about whether certain positions should have a greater salary. But what's wrong is when politicians use their time in public service to enrich themselves. How do we fix it? Some simple ideas here. I intend to implement them. As the next president in the federal government, I think states need to do the same thing. If you've been an elected official, or if you've been a bureaucrat in a bureaucracy that regulates an industry, you cannot go back and lobby the government for at least 10 years until you've left that government. That should not be controversial. Yet that's exactly what many politicians are doing. If you're a politician that has regulated an industry or has had a relationship with private industry while you were a governor or a president or a bureaucrat, you should not be able to serve on the board of that company or have any paid position with that company for at least 10 years until after you've left office. That means that, unfortunately for certain people like Nikki Haley, she could not have joined the board of Boeing, a company that she created special financial incentives for to come to South Carolina. If you're Scott Gottlieb, who was once the chairman of was the commissioner of the FDA, that means you can't join the board of Pfizer for at least 10 years until after you leave the FDA. This should not be controversial. It means that if you're in Congress, you should not be able to trade individual stocks. Or if you do, you need to be able to do it only within windows where you don't have access to any special inside information. But why bother with that proviso if it's going to build public trust to say that you shouldn't be trading those individual stocks at all? You can give it to an independent financial advisor who can, of course, manage your portfolio. No one says you can't own stocks. But you shouldn't be able to sit on the Armed Services Committee or an oversight committee of our defense policies and then trade in stocks involving defense contractors. As information is coming out that now it appears that's exactly what's happened in recent days with multiple people who serve in Congress. This is not controversial. It's not a left-wing idea or a right-wing idea. It is an opportunity for the Republican Party to step up and say, we can be the party that's actually against corruption in government. You should not make money, profit off of your time in public service other than the salary that allows you to make that proper living. When you leave government, you're free to live the American dream however you want. I'd encourage many public servants to try doing it. Start companies, be enterprising, do what you want to do in the private sector, but don't monetize your connections or don't monetize your influence as a way to do it. That'll rebuild trust in our government. It'll get the corruption out of our government. And this is a great issue for the Republican Party, yes, to be the one to lead the way. But the reason we're not is that many of the Republicans in our own ranks have made too much of a habit of becoming military contractors after leaving the UN, joining the boards of the companies that they did special deals with while governor, trading in stocks that enrich themselves based on special information they have while in Congress. This needs to end. That'll end on my watch. It's going to take courage to do it. It's not going to be an easy fix. The existing establishment in D.C. will have an allergic reaction to it. That's why it's going to take an outsider coming in to get that job done. But my bet is most people, regardless of political party in this country, are going to stand in favor of it.